that I do, that folks have just lost their minds, that adults are so rude today that they are passing this on to their children. Just rude. Do you believe that it's one part of the country compared to another? I can be honest with you. When I go home to Texas, it ain't the same. When I'm in Texas, typically folks will say, "How you doing? Excuse me." But I can tell you, man, when I moved to Chicago, oh, hell. Chicago, New York, rude. DC, rude. So our manners emphasized more in the South than the North. Number to call, 888-669-2281. 888-669-2281. I do believe it's a part of upbringing. I do. I believe it's a part of where you come from. I believe it's a part of, as they say, who your people are, where your people from. I remember a few years ago, I was riding, I was on the train, and I was traveling from Houston to New York, and it was 1989, and I was going to the National Association of Black Journalists Convention. And my sister and I were traveling together, and we were on the train, and it was interesting because when we were going from Texas through Arkansas on our way to Chicago, it was the folks on the train were different in terms of how we talked. And when we went to the food car, and the folks there, they washed our bag, it was no problem, and it was all good how folks were treating one another, talking to one another. But I can tell you, things changed when we got to Chicago. It was literally night and day in terms of the people who were on the train. It was simply different. The mood was different. The attitude was different when we got to Chicago. It was just different. I mean, I don't know why it was different. I mean, the folks felt colder. Going from Chicago to New York was not the same. In fact, me and my, I mean, when I say it was noticeable, you literally felt it. Me and my sister were like, "Oh, man, these folks here, this ain't home. This ain't how people act at home." I mean, both of us picked up on that thing quickly, and I just think that, and I can tell you what I and people might say, "Roland, that was 1989." No. When I moved to Chicago, I moved to Chicago in 2004, and I can tell you, in 2004, it was a trip to me going to the grocery store and people just reaching right over you, and they coming by and not even saying excuse me, and you in the Blockbuster video store, and you're standing there, and You're looking at a movie and somebody just walks right in front of you, don't even say anything. You're like, what? And you're like, whoa, hold up, what the hell? And let me tell you what I did. I did do this, and maybe you think I was wrong for doing it, but I don't really care. So I'm in Chicago, and I'm in a Target, and this dude clearly does not want to say excuse me. So he's pushing his basket, and my man just was arrogant, was rude about it, and I was mad as hell. So let me tell you what I did. So I started following him around the store. Y'all. I did that. So I got my basket. So at one point I stopped, and he was trying to come down. Let me tell y'all how this truly happened. This is not a lie. So he's pushed his basket. He left it in one spot, so he was coming down. So what I did was I pushed my basket closer to the basket in front of me to create a very small space for the person to get by, like a really small space. Do y'all realize this fool contorted his body? And y'all should have seen him twisting, and I mean, it was like he was trying to get through a small space, and he's contorting his body all because he did not want to say excuse me. I had never in my life seen, y'all should have seen it. My man was, he was like turning sideways. And I stood there and I went, damn. All he had to say were 2 words. Excuse me. I would have pulled the basket back, wouldn't be no problem. Y'all, the man did not even want to say, excuse me. I do not understand crazy people who can't even say, excuse me. Y'all, give me a call, 888-669-2281. 888-669-2281 right now. I want to go to Rob. Rob, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's up? I'm doing great.
Fit, live, win, and so I have brought my Can't Fit crew in there. Let me tell you something. You hit it on the head right now.
Distorted audio.
Others' needs. Basically, this is what we've come down to. And so, honestly, we are mentally and physically out of shape. We're in a society now where we're in a hurry. Everything has to be fast, has to be our way. We're in a microwave society. So if it doesn't benefit you, you have no reason. You have no reason to be kind, generous. I mean, these are. So yes, you are strange. yeah, you are strange for being nice. Because I feel myself being strange all the time. People are in their own world. If you go into a subway station and you stand there, just stand there. You feel like you're in a movie. Now I know everybody's going to their destination; they have to do their own thing. But just stand and be still and just watch everybody in them. We're like zombies, and it has a lot to do with this information age. It's not just the young people that got caught up with this; it's us. And so much information coming in. We're so busy. We're so consumed with us. We don't have enough time to be have common courtesy for other people. Yeah, you can do a 18-week segment on this.
Well, and I think that what happens is you've got these parents who are also fostering this, and they are contributing to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy,
Yep.
Doc. It's crazy.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree, man. The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
All right, Rob. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Folks,
Thank
give me a call.
All right,
888-669-2281. 888-669-2281. Are we an absolutely rude society? It's the question I'm posing on the Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment. Okay. Might have to do some converting, but that's fine. $7.59. $6:16 a.m. Not understanding what this is. This codec is different. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have to convert it to MP4 capture. Now let me do it. This is crazy. So the whole show is 122 gigs. That's a lot. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I mean, I'm still testing. It's working, but I just need to. Welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. Number to call is 888-669-2281. 888-669-2281. What is it about our society where we have become so rude, unbelievably, undeniably rude? I'm again, maybe it's just me. Maybe some of y'all might say, well, man, I think you're being too sensitive, but no, I just really do believe. I mean, I'm telling y'all right now, I believe 100% the fundamental problem we have become an unbelievably rude society. We've got people walking around who feel as if they don't need to say, excuse me, I apologize, my bad. They just do whatever the hell they want to do. And it's like you are standing there with your feet in blocks of cement and they can't even, I don't understand it. And I'm telling you right now, we are doing it with our kids. Let me go ahead. How many of y'all have noticed your nieces and nephews are rude? Do you know what I think is rude? I think it's rude when you a kid and you come in my house and you don't come speak to me. Seriously, I want to know, I want y'all to call me. How many of you have had cousins, nieces, or nephews who come to your house and they didn't walk in speaking? And you like, I know, wait, did that fool just sit here and not speak? Did they not speak? What in the world just happened? I know I have, and I'm trying to understand what's got. I'm telling you, it's the craziest thing in the world to me to sit here and watch people who can't even come. I don't allow that. You're gonna walk in my house and speak. I will jack a kid up, and it's like, hey, your ass better come speak. Matter of fact, I don't even allow my nieces and nephews to walk into the house without coming give me a hug. I got 9 nieces, 4 nephews. All of them. One of them gonna walk there behind over here. And y'all gonna learn how to give me a hug. I don't play that. Don't play it. Let me go to New York. KB, you're the Roland Martin Show. What's up, man? What's your comment?
This is definitely one of those subjects where you go, okay, where do you even start with this?
I mean, files and there was no audio.
But I think the number one reason is because we've just become so selfish. Everybody thinks that, it's all about them. People don't have the concept of, public space being a shared space. Technology has definitely contributed to all of this. Everybody in the streets of New York, they're buried with their heads down into their phones, not even looking where they're walking. People talking loudly on their phones without regard to other people that are, within the space. I think that it's gotten so bad in society today that some people don't even know how to handle kindness. Even sometimes when you say thank you to somebody, or you hold the door for somebody, or you do something that isn't rude, they look at you like you're weird. So this is definitely a pet peeve for me, and I'm sorry to see things get to the way it is. And I mean, when you talk about kids, you almost can't blame the kids if the parents aren't teaching them properly. I mean, I remember being a child, and whenever you're with your friends or whatever, and if you're around adults, there's a certain way you carry yourself, when you're amongst yourselves, as opposed to being around adults. You don't curse, you don't do these things. Today, these kids, it's like the adults are not even around. They don't even care. They just act up, curse, do whatever. But again, you can't put it all on them if the parents aren't teaching them.
Well, first of all, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I can tell you one thing that drives me crazy. I'm glad you mentioned it. It drives me nuts when I'll sit here and hold the door open for a woman, and it's like I'm the doorman, and I'm looking like, okay, I don't work here. Again, it's common courtesy. it's common courtesy. This is, and again, maybe I'm strange. Maybe something wrong with me. But to me, it's common courtesy that if somebody holds the door open for you, you just say thank you.
Speak for it regionally. I think in different regions it's always been a little different, but I just think overall, no matter where you are, we have being friendly. Again, this is none of us own this land, this space, this place we call Earth. We all share it, and because we share it, we need to respect each other in our space.
Yep. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Number to call 888-669-2281, 888-669-2281. Same thing goes for guys. I mean, look, I've somebody walking into a store, and and they've got they're holding something, as a package or whatever the heck, and you just hold the door open for them. They just walk right on in, and you like, oh, okay, like that, huh? Just like that. And again, I know somebody listening, and they're like, man, really? Is this big of a deal? Actually, it is. It really is when you can't even say thank you. You held the door open. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand why it's that hard. I don't get it. 888-669-2281, 888-669-2281. Michelle from North Carolina, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What say you, Michelle? Michelle?
Was that again, Roland?
Michelle, you on the air?
Yes. Hi, like I said, I'm calling from North Carolina, and people here in the South, I guess we can say we're a little bit more cordial, maybe because of the upbringing that we have, because I came up under that old school parenting and old school grandparents and aunts and uncles where you just taught to say thank you and, excuse me. And I mean, I'm, still up under that old school, yes, sir, no, sir, type of thing. So maybe it's just the way, people are being raised today. It comes from the household. It's what you're being taught in the household.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with it's all about what you've been told in the house. So I just think that it's gotten to the point where we are ridiculous with it, where we really don't know how to treat one another. And I think, and so here's the other piece. I had somebody told me, well, Roland, I mean, it's no big deal. You should let it go. No, I believe when you let it go, and you don't say anything, then you are allowing that to continue.
Right, you're allowing that type of behavior to continue. So maybe, if you address it, then this person can, get it right and then go on the next time, and do it the correct way. But you are totally right. I mean, I think today a lot of people are just so caught up in their own world that, they just don't think about the simple cordial things in life, like saying excuse me or good morning even,
Yep, absolutely. All right, I certainly appreciate it, Michelle. Thank you so very much. Folks, give me a call, 888. Thank you. 888-669-2281, 888-669-2281. That's the number. I'm talking about just rude folk. I'm talking about what happens in this world today where folks are just so rude. They are unbelievably, undeniably rude. Just rude for no reason at all. And I think what happens is when we go through this world, we are just sitting here allowing people and their nonsense to continue. I just believe you got to snatch somebody's wig. You got to go ahead and just smack somebody upside their head. No, you are not going to be this arrogant and be dismissive of me while I'm standing here. It's simply not going to happen. Folks, when we come back on Roland Martin Show, I'm going to talk about Rachel Dolezal. What's up? Is this woman sick? Has she lost her ever-loving mind? We'll discuss it next on the Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment. Okay, this solution is, what's that?
Texted is with the graphics and the lowers, and then textless is without graphics.
Okay, this ain't going to work. And the reason it's not going to work is because
Too much.
The problem is really what you need is you need to be able to do this thing in real time because untitled folder. Let me do this here. Like this folder, this is 122 gigs. All right, this thing is saying it's going to take 48 minutes to transfer. That's a long time. And so you're talking about as soon as the show's over, you can do that. You haven't even edited. All of a sudden you pull them up at 11. Okay. So there's a device that is being sent to me, that game capture. They're sending it to me. And what I'm going to do is, I'm still looking at, I have this here. You can actually do this, and it actually works. You just have to download the software. This is a guy on ITV. So basically what happens with this is, you go, let's say the DVR, The Office, which actually this could be an option. I'm just looking at how you could do it here, because these coaxials going directly into the television. But The Office, you can go DVR out, you can go composite out and audio out of that DVR box. It's already right in here, and then you simply plug this up, this USB right here, right into your computer. And the software I have is for the Mac. And then what happens is it pulls up a window, and so it pulled up for me. So yesterday, what happened was I was able to literally I recorded this straight from DVR, put it on here, and then what happens is I can ship it for $40 to people. That's really what really what I'm trying to do. And so I'm looking at like I said, when that game capture comes in, there's a converter that will allow me to go coaxial.
I am trying to have a conversation with my
out.
Nona. Who are you and what are you
doing? You can capture it right here on
How can I
that way in real time. So that way you can just record that one segment. Boom. It's not like when you're watching it, you just record the whole segment. Boom. And when it's done, hit stop, save it, and then save it that way. Versus this is recording a whole show extremely high definition. That's why that one whole show is 122. You know, and for you don't need that for your body. So let me
do not push people around without some people pushing back.
I just wanted to test to see if that'll work, but that's just way too long. Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's 8.3 gigs have already copied right now of 122, and saying it's got 143 minutes left. That's how crazy that is.
I might as well just wait for them to cut it.
Yeah, precisely. So, all right. So if you can do me a favor, take this back to Andrew. Okay, pop the disk back in. Okay, take this back to Andrew.
Anything in particular?
And if he asks, just tell him tell him it worked, but it's from a speed standpoint, it sort of doesn't give us any advantage whatsoever on the speed.
All right.
Okay, cool. All righty. Thank you. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. So let's talk Rachel Dolezal. I don't understand for the life of me this story. I don't understand why someone would fake who they are and lie about it. That's what has me perplexed. Now Tavis Smiley wrote this piece for Time Magazine where he said, you know, I don't know why somebody with lower this, lower that, whatever, all the different stuff, why somebody would want to impersonate somebody being black. I don't. That's. I mean, it sort of reminds me of Chris Rock. When Chris Rock had his comedy routine, and he said, ain't a white man in America who wants to trade places with me, and I'm rich. Y'all remember that? Remember when Chris Rock said that? Thought that was pretty funny too. But it's right. I mean, when you start, you know, you're like, really? But as I've been watching this story, it has been perplexing to me. It's been utterly perplexing. Why would you go through your life denying your parents, denying who you are, denying what you're about? None of that makes any sense to me. And what's really been interesting has been and this has really been the one for me. What's up? Now, one of my folks on Periscope said this, and I saw this as well. That she said it was this experience at Howard University that caused her to begin to hate whites. But I don't look. This morning on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, I interviewed Tim Wise. Tim Wise, great guy. Anti-white activist, lecturer, author, and he talks about, for him, you know, the role of being a white guy and trying to get other whites to understand what their role and responsibility is. And he said it's hard work. He said, but really, that's the job, if you will, he said, of somebody being white to teach, to show other whites what reality is. He said, and it's hard work. He said it's difficult work. He said, but you know what? He said it's important to do it. But what I've been perplexed by, I saw these comments, Reverend Al Sharpton and others, and folks are saying, well, you know, What's wrong with her parents? Why did they call her out? Let me tell y'all something. And maybe y'all a lot different than me. Maybe it's just me. But let me tell y'all something. If I had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to deny my daddy, to deny my mama, let me tell y'all something right now. I go over well in the Martin house. I'm just being straight up honest with y'all. If I had the audacity to post on Facebook that somebody else was my daddy, and my daddy was living, my daddy raised me, my dad took care of me, do y'all understand? Oh, my parents would not be calm about that. And I have these folks saying, well, she's doing more than some black folks are. Come on now. Come on. I just don't understand the line. I don't understand why you got to make something up. That's what I don't understand. I don't get it. And now all these folks running around talking about, well, she's transracial. What the hell is transracial? Can we just stop trying to make stuff up to excuse the insanity of some people? Can we just do that? Between me and you, can we please stop giving folks cover for stupidity? I mean, it's all crazy. I'm telling you, this story is weird. It's weird. Now the New York Daily News is reporting this. Rachel Dolezal supporting victim who accused her brother of child molestation suggests parents outed her as white in retaliation. Says her brother Joshua Dolezal, 39, was charged in 2013 with 4 felony counts of sex abuse of a victim who was a minor at the time. Sources and court records confirmed. The ongoing case in Clear Creek County is set to go to trial later this summer and has a status conference set for Monday. But see, here's the deal, though. She's saying, well, this is happening because her parents are protecting her brother. That still has nothing to do with why you chose to be deceitful about who you are. Maybe y'all can explain to me here, and do you believe that some black folks are freely giving her a pass because she chose to be NAACP president. Give me a call, 888-669-2281, 888-669-2281 on the Roland Martin Show. All right, let's see here. 3. Headphone port.
I feel like that's exactly. I know that's what other faculty are like. Oh, they will get the. I mean, they never take.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. I got something for y'all, and I think y'all gonna love. And that is, there's this woman named Lauren Campbell who last year had her senior thesis, and these are unedited interviews, and so hopefully ain't no cussing involved. And she interviewed Rachel Dolezal about her experience as a Black woman. Did y'all hear what I said? About her experience as a Black woman. I had to play this. Here we go. I had having some issues here with the audio. This is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this question is hilarious. Here we go.
There.
All right, I'm having some issues here. This is crazy. This whole story and how it's playing out. But here we go. No, it's not a producer. What happened was as a short in this cable. There's a short in this cable. I'm trying to work it out, y'all.
Define.
All righty here. This is I tell you, it's fascinating to listen to her. You can even tell in these questions that I think she's scared to death she's going to get outed, because you can hear her in this video literally, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by this. I'm not quite sure by that question. The point that you're trying to make, I'm not sure. So where are you really going with? I'm telling you, this is, I think something wrong with this child. I think something is really, really wrong with her.
She's a general normal person. The reason that
she's nuts.
I specified as well is just because as I was talking about this with some people, people can define normal, right? But then you throw in a specific racial background. It's oh wait, I don't know if this is the same now. Mm-hmm. And I guess I kind of wanted to talk about that. Okay. Sure. And what? Okay, so if that, if it changes the answer, what is that then? What is the answer next?
What kind of what aspect of the experience are you most interested in?
I'm in general, I'm most interested in the story that each woman has to tell. So I've kept the questions specifically kind of open so that they kind of have the freedom to take the question wherever they want it to go. But I still, you know what I mean, like you still kind of have a goal that you want to reach.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta stop it right here.
So what are some examples of
Okay. This is what is killing me. A black woman, let me help y'all out. A black woman is interviewing Rachel Dolezal about what it means to be an African American woman and all of these different experiences. And Dolezal is like, well, I'm not really sure what you mean. I'm not really sure where you're going with this. I'm not really so. I mean, this interview, first of all, it's hilarious. All right, let me just say that the interview is absolutely hilarious because she's going through these contortions where she is literally trying to, well, I don't get what you're doing. Listen. Okay, this is, I'm telling y'all, this is hilarious listening to this woman. And let me help y'all out. This is this is like an hour interview. This woman, named Lauren Campbell, she posted these videos, and it was for a senior thesis. And this woman is literally going back and forth. She's going back and forth in this, and I think she probably was scared that she was about to get outed in this interview. I mean, if you actually listen to her, I think she was scared to death that she was going to get outed even in this interview. And so you got to ask yourself, what is it about somebody who says that, okay, I am going to live? This is not, hey, I'm gonna live in a black neighborhood. I'm gonna hang out with black people. No. This is a woman who is literally, who has decided to say, I'm going to take on the mentality. I'm just gonna just be black. And that's what it is. This is not, so it's like, do you have to pass? You're trying to pass for black. And I told you, I got an aunt who passed for white. My aunt Rita Lewis in Louisiana, her kids are passing for white. Her grandkids do not know that they are black. Yo, this is crazy. We come back, I'm gonna play more. I'm gonna take your phone calls, and I'm gonna actually play more of this interview. And I'm sorting the audio issues out. Rachel Dolezal talking about her experience as a black woman on the Roland Martin Show. Okay, let me see if I can get this working.
be back with the Roland Martin Show after these important messages on the Empowerment Radio Network.
Pressure sometimes shapes our identity in ways that take us outside. Well, one of the things that comes up for me when I think of that. Okay, makes sense. Am I answering the question now, or are we?
You can. I mean, we can start answering the questions. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
All right. Periscope, stream, Meerkat. I got the audio issues sorted out, so we're good. We're good. So yeah, you can if you want to, you can go to YouTube. There's a video. It just type. Rachel Dolezal talks about her experience as a Black woman. Lauren Campbell is the woman. You know what? I gotta track this woman down. How do you? See, that's the problem. Can you email somebody? Anybody know how you reach somebody on their page? Send a message. Lauren. Gotcha. All right, I just sent Lauren a message. See if I can reach her.
Okay. And how they don't kind of like they'll talk about themselves, they'll talk about the disparities of that.
Okay, makes sense. Am I answering the question now, or are we?
You can. I mean, we can start answering the questions. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Mr. Roland, were you talking to me? Sorry.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I'm ready.
Auto issue sorted out.
Gotta stay current, gotta stay informed, gotta stay fly. The man is so fly, he's gotta wear an ascot.
What an ascot is, shouted.
You're listening to The Roland Martin Show on the Empowerment Radio Network.
Say, what an ascot is, dog.
You're listening to The Roland Martin Show on the Empowerment Radio Network.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. I am talking about this Rachel Dolezal story that really is crazy. It's like all over the place. It's pretty nuts. And not only do you have this woman who's been impersonating somebody's Black, she literally gave an interview with this woman, this young woman named Lauren Campbell, last year, where she talked about her experience as a Black woman, and I wanted to share that with you guys so y'all can actually hear her talk about the experience of a Black woman. This is interesting.
Problematic because there's so much pressure from, especially somewhere around like preteen years, to be in a category or be normal, be displaying behaviors that would be acceptable to people. And I think that pressure sometimes shapes our identity in ways that take us outside of our own personal power and potential even. and kind of limits. It's more limiting than liberating. And I would say though that there have been some constants from that I've not just from my own experience, but within my girlfriend's experiences, as far as I think it's fairly normal to not like to have to be the voice for an entire group. Again, because that's not liberating, that's confining. So especially in an area like Spokane or North Idaho, where it's a majority white audience, it's very difficult to have that burden on a daily basis, just visibly wherever you go. Like, oh, well, what do you do with your hair? Or, oh, well, what do, and then people, you can, you kind of get the sense that they are then assuming that every other Black woman will do those things too. Or if your children do certain things, or if there's certain dynamics that are normal or typical within your family, then those are typical for everybody Black or everybody mixed or whatever. And I think that then creates, because I care about people's perception of race and ethnicity, and especially how that perception feeds or deconstructs racism, then I've found that sometimes I will do certain things to overcome people's objections, where I wouldn't necessarily just be doing that if I didn't feel like they were going to apply that moment to the whole experience. So I guess I think that's a fairly normal reaction to that pressure in the Black community in a majority white area.
Yeah, because you wanna be this sort of like people talk about like raising, being the best so that you kind of elevate the status
of your people.
Yeah, your people.
Right.
And, to feel that always, it's a lot.
It's a lot of pressure, and also internally you're trying to know who you are, like being who you are, and also be this other thing that's helpful to the greater cause, to trying to like have self-care and then also care for the community, and sometimes those two things aren't in a specific moment juxtaposed together very well. For example, I think that sometimes I'll want to just be free to not care about my appearance, and so I'll just like, oh, I'm gonna just go get some bread or milk from the store. But then I think, okay, if I go, like, what am I wearing? What are people gonna think? What is my kid wearing? Is there, so I think there's this hyper vigilance for appearance too. Like, oh, you've got to have like new shoes and hair done and things, where sometimes it may be from like a womanist or feminist perspective more liberating to not have to, or not to theoretically care about what people are going to see. Like, I don't care what people think, I'm just going to do what I need to do. But that kind of seems a little bit selfish in light of the fact that then if people perceive that, those people have a lower standard of hygiene, or those people just go out looking any kind of way. Where if, say for example, I lived in Mississippi for 4 years, almost 5, and if you're living inside of an all Black community, then you understand, like,